Hey everyone, today we're playing Draconite. We just found there's a demo on Steam. Let's just hop on in. Let's see, does it work with a controller actually? Not sure.
它的心脏里蕴藏着星辰的力量。星球上的两个国家为了争夺这份资源，兵戎相见。但这场没有赢家的战争，只换来了疮痍满目。最终，他们决定和平共享这份天赐的礼物。但这样的和平又能够维系多久？
Damn, we don't have to assume that peace will fail. The trench mud reeks of dampness, gunpowder, and blood. Huddled in this narrow trench, you clutch your rifle as if it's your only lifeline. Explosions roar all around. Each whistling bullet makes you flinch. Nearby, an unfamiliar soldier leans against the trench wall. Young face, eyes filled with terror and confusion. Clearly a recruit. Your eyes meet, sharing the same despair. In this moment, you're no longer strangers, but two souls trapped in hell. Suddenly, a shrill whistle pierces the air, sharper than any before. Your instincts scream, making you curl tighter. But the young soldier freezes, eyes wide, pupils dilated in terror. Get down! A hoarse cry escapes your throat, but it's too late. The whole world turns white in an instant. The deafening blast drowns out everything as the shockwave sends you flying. When your eyes finally refocus, the sight before you chills your soul. The young soldier is gone. Only mangled remains scattered in the trench. Warm blood splatters your face, trickling down your scales. Fear washes over you like a tide. You can only whimper as tears stream down your cheeks. Commander's hoarse shouts crackles through the radio, pulling you back to reality. You force yourself up, wiping tears and blood with shaking hands, gripping your weapon again. Suddenly the battlefield's chaos begins to fade away. Gunfire, shouts, explosions. Everything seems to muffle behind a watery veil, distorting. Then, a low, calm voice pierces the veil, whispering in your ear. War is always this cruel, isn't it? You whip around, startled to find a strange black dragon standing not far behind you. Amid this deadly battlefield, he appears strangely composed, as if detached from it all. It's always wild when a game's art is all like, look at all this Thirstcraft stuff and all these bulgy men, wow, and then it opens on like bloody war. It's happened more than a few times where I'm like, like, time to bulge? I don't know. Maybe an hour or two. Time to gore? 30 seconds. What? What is this all for? Your voice sounds hoarse and broken. You think of the young soldier's death and countless lives lost in the flames of war. The mysterious dragon looks past you, gazing at the burning battlefield in the distance. What for, indeed? Do you even remember how this war began? Are we just chatting it up? Someone just exploded in front of me. You open your mouth to answer, only to realize you don't know. You frown, trying to recall the cause, but the memory is like a desert mirage. The more you chase it, the more it fades. In this chaos, even the most basic things become blurred. Even your own name. He pauses, giving you a meaningful look. Tell me, what is your name? Galo, apparently. Gallo? Probably Gallo. I'll accept default name. Gallo. The black dragon repeats the name softly. Something complex flickering in his eyes. He falls silent for a moment. Good. At least you remember that. The battle rages on, bullets whiz, cannons roar, and somehow this conversation feels more important than anything else. His calm gaze sweeps across the smoke. Even amidst the roaring fires of war, his voice remains steady. It all began with the celestial gift, Draconite. We thought it would bring prosperity to the world. Instead, it sowed the seeds of disaster. This war isn't just repeating itself. It could destroy us all, perhaps even the entire world. Who am I and why are you expositioning the war's premise at me in the middle of a battle? This is all you can hear all the blasts! Like, what is this framing? You want to ask more, but the words fail you. Everything is so confusing. This mysterious dragon, this strangely familiar yet alien war, and that unsettling word, Draconite. You're just in a war and you don't know what the war is? This strangely familiar yet alien war. Who on earth are you? Something complex flickers in the dragon's eyes. He lowers his gaze, considering his answer. You don't belong here. You have a destiny to fulfill. A destiny? It's interesting. I've never seen it happen this way before, but whenever we talk, our text is just bigger, and that's the only indication that we're talking. There's no, like, nameplate or anything, or even differences in, like, font or color. It just gets bigger. Another shrill whistle tears through the sky. You recognize the sound of an oncoming shell, but strangely, your body can't move, as if held by an invisible force. The black dragon doesn't even flinch. He just stands there, gazing into your eyes. In the second before the blast, his lips curl into a bitter yet relieved smile. My story has ended, but yours is just beginning. He speaks softly, his voice... Oop. As your consciousness fades, you feel yourself falling into endless darkness. That was a very long sentence to auto-skip. Like, immediately in. Huh. So I take it that he just exploded and died, but he sent us to replace him, essentially? I'm trying to think. There's like a couple different stories. It was like the Doctor Who... I think it was the finale of Peter Capaldi's Doctor Who, and also Miss Peregrine's Home for Imaginary Children are both stories where somebody essentially disappears right when they're about to die during a war, and that, like, changes the path for them. I think in Peregrine's case, it was an entire school that's disguised in the time... It's like, it's a school that was bombed in reality, but they escaped to an alternate dimension or something where it's like frozen in forever or something. It's confusing. My eyes snap open as I bolt upright in bed. My heart hammers against my ribs and I struggle to calm my ragged breathing. I stare blankly at my surroundings. As my eyes adjust to the light, the familiar layout of the room began to take shape. Ugh. Wait, am I him? Or am I a different guy? I'm not sure. Grayish dragon. The other guy seemed older and more scarred, but I'm not sure if he was the same guy of a different age or something. Ugh. No, mouse, stop freaking out. This is my dorm. I'm in my own bed, safe and sound. But that doesn't bring much comfort. If anything, it stir a faint, sickly wave of nausea in my gut. Did we just, like, wake up from a dream? And that was all a dream? Or did we just inhabit his body in the past? Or is that a flashback to when he kidnapped us into this land in the first place or something? But now we're, like, maybe later in the process. I cough softly. The bitter, acidic tang in my throat is unpleasant, but it helps clear the fog from my head. Ugh. So now we have a nameplate. I slowly lift my head. A sliver of sunlight peeks through the gap in the curtains, accompanied by the cheerful chirping of birds. The room grew clearer as the warm morning light flooded in. Finally, my racing heart began to settle. We have another rough translation. I take a deep breath, caught by the dizzying and drowsy exhaustion. I close my eyes, wondering what on earth could have triggered such a visceral reaction. Was it just a dream? I'd be a laughingstock if anyone found out I was this shaken by a nightmare. So it's not a memory? I try to trace it back, but my brain only offers it fractured memories. Smoke, trenches, cannon fire. More and more images help to recall the dream. I wonder if it's like a hint at his past that he doesn't remember anymore? Like, he doesn't remember getting nabbed? Before I could fully grasp the scene, a familiar face emerged from the tide of memory. It was me. Literally, it was my own face. Okay, so I was right about that part. The chaos of war, charred remains, and falling shells reduced everything to ash, and that black dragon talking to me has my face. My scattered thoughts suddenly become clear, and my body pays the price for the revelation. My head is splitting. Ugh. Damn it. Draconite, war, and the end of the world. These fragments somehow irritates me. Muttering a curse, I rubbed my throbbing temples. Couldn't squeeze out any more details. I flicked my tail irritably and slumped back down, baffled by how real and how nonsensical the whole experience feels. What started that war? Was Draconite really the culprit behind the world's destruction? And more importantly, why did I dream of a version of myself that acted so differently? What does those words even mean? Never mind. My thoughts clash in a jumble. My brain is a mess, and there's no way I steer my thoughts back on track now. I sigh frustratedly and give up on making sense of it. I decide to stop dwelling on the whole annoying episode. The curtains are losing their battle against the sunlight, and the brisk chirping of birds begin to soothe my nerves. A new day brings new responsibilities. A dream is just a dream, no matter how bizarre. I am back in reality now. A little more rest? What does that mean? It's still early. I glance at the alarm clock. The hour hand tells me I still had time for a bit more sleep before work. I give my blanket a slight shake, curling my tail and shifting my weight to find a comfortable spot, but the mysterious black dragon reappears behind my eyelids. This is he's got torn jeans. He's got like Akuma jeans where the top is shredded all around too. This is the other one still, covered in scars. Bearing a smirk, the erratic and unwelcome doppelganger tried to tell me something, but I was not in the mood for his alarmist words. And then this is me. Am I wearing a giant collar? More like I have a giant collar for a shirt, like tank top with a big weird collar on the outside that has a buckle on that. And tits for days. Maybe I'm too tired. Or maybe I tried too hard. My consciousness slip away entirely. A wave of drowsiness wash over me and wraps me in a deep slumber. The increasingly insistent ringing pierced my ears. I let out a bleary-eyed yawn, realizing that the phone is not part of the dream. It is very much real. The world outside is fully awaked. Honking horns and distant chatter resonate with each other. I struggle to reach for my phone at the bed edge, retreating back into the covers. Hello? Kid, are you still in bed? A familiar voice barks from the other side of the line. I awake in an instant, frantically check the time on my digital clock. Comma space, huh. No, Captain, I'm already... Don't you lie to me. I can hear the sheets through the phone. How crinkly are his sheets? You need to wash your sheets. His irritated voice cut right through my clumsy excuse. I scramble out of the bed and dash towards the bathroom, my mind racing for an explanation that would keep me from getting chewed out. Did I not tell you yesterday? The new Beast Republic ambassador is visiting the Draconite Research Institute for the summit today. Nobody's allowed to screw this up. Normally you're totally allowed to screw things up. I guess is the implication. I could practically see the captain's stern face in my mind. Toothbrush in my mouth, I tucked my tail between my legs, mumbling an apology as clearly as I could while the captain continued his lecture. A sudden wave of dizziness forces a groan out of my nose, which naturally doesn't escape the captain's sharp ears. What was that? You got an attitude problem? No, not at all. The volume on the other end spikes up, making my scales shiver. I spit out the toothbrush in a hurry. Maybe I should explain why I'm so out of it before the captain really loses his temper. Though if I use nightmares as an excuse, he'll probably just... Listen, kid, now is not the time for moping. I shouldn't have to remind you how critical this visit is. I don't care what the reason is. I need you here. I need you here now. Yes, sir. Sorry, Captain. I know. I'm heading out as fast as I can. That said, given your performance so far, I think you need a wake-up call. Once you get here, you're going to... The voice cut off abruptly, leaving my heart in my throat. Regret washes over me as I brace myself for the unspoken punishment. Flaps? Duck walks? Whatever it is, it's gonna suck. Ha! I'm kidding. I can't have you greeting guests while you're covered in sweat. The sudden shift in tone catches me completely off guard. I stand frozen in front of the mirror until his voice brings me back to reality. Alright, stop daydreaming. It's getting late. Or do you need the whole squad to line up and give you a royal escort? No, that's fine. I'll be there in a flash. I shove the toothbrush back in my mouth and speak through the foam, pinching my arm for my clumsiness. Captain Hong Bin will never let me live this down. Good. You sound like your head's in the clouds. What? Were you so excited to meet the ambassador you didn't sleep a wink? I wouldn't go that far. I mumble an awkward response to his teasing and promise repeatedly that I'd be at the Institute immediately. Just get over here. Security prep starts soon. We'll settle the score for your little sleep-in later. For being in a hurry, that was a surprisingly long conversation, though that's only really communicated one thing. The captain give me one last set of instructions before hanging up, leaving only the sound of running water echoing in the bathroom. I stare at my exhausted reflection and sigh, splashing a handful of cold water onto my face. Don't overthink it, it was just a dream. So what if it was about Draconite? Even if the sky falls, Captain Hong Bin will still be the one to hold it up first. I wolf down breakfast, button up my shirt, and take one last look around the room. Double check the room, grab my gear, and I'm good to go. There we go, the gameplay. WASD for move, E to interact, I for inventory. I'm using controller, so we'll see if how that works. Can I find inventory? Oh, there we go. That's the pause menu in the start section. Oop. Open some other bar. Might not be able to find an inventory on this menu. Alright. Let's put the controller away. Reposition myself to use keyboard and mouse. It's fine. There's inventory. Okay. So yeah, this was what I saw on the Steam page, is the fact that it's a side-scroller. A surprisingly long VN intro, but that's not too surprising. Because when I played Threefold Recital, that was another Chinese visual novel side-scroller hybrid thing that I played just last year. The potted plant I bought when I first arrived. I leaned in for a closer look. The leaves are a vibrant green, vines nearly reaching the window frame. Sorry I've been so busy I forgot to water you. You seem to be doing well regardless. I scratched the back of my head, feeling a bit sheepish. Seems you're better at taking care of yourself than I am. Did I just sleep in this? The giant arm and shoulder and back exposing tank top. It's like it's made for me. Dumbbells I use for training. When was the last time I touched these? I flexed my arm, feeling like my muscle definition isn't what it used to be. How? Look at him. As a security member, I can't let myself get out of shape. Once this busy season is over, I need to get back to training. Suspicious tissue. Hello. Hello. A lot of emails and so on. To all members from the security department, DRI, security details for tomorrow's event. To all members, VIPs will arrive at the Institute tomorrow morning, and the Draconite International Cooperation Summit will officially commence in the main hall at 1431. Blah, blah, blah. Be a uniform. Remember to bring your form tomorrow. Our form. Draconite Technology Park. This is a lot of lore to get through. I think I'm going to pass for now because we're on a timetable. I don't think I want to spend that much of this video on this stuff. Draconite Ecclesia. You can pause to read stuff if you want to. News. Oh, this is dense with stuff right off the bat. Whoa. Draconite Cooperation Summit. New ambassador of Julie to visit Draconite Research Institute. Fairly large amount of stuff right out the gate. What's the plus sign mean, I think? Not sure what the plus sign means. Next to news. I've been so swamped lately that the room looks like a dragon's den. Isn't it? Literally? Can't even find time to tidy up. Glancing at the scattered files on the desk, I scratch my head, a wave of exhaustion washing over me. Should I take a moment to straighten things up? And then just like ruin my life by being late again? After a quick shuffle, a piece of paper slips from the stack and drifts into the floor. My star employee registration! I almost forgot, today's the deadline to turn this in. Quickly snatched the form and tucked it in my bag, believed I didn't leave it behind. So that's what the email reminded me of, so I got a bit lucky there, I guess. Is there a tiny hyena on my computer tower under the desk? There is. Do hyenas exist in this setting? Kinda wonder if they'd all be dragged. Oh, there's a hyena there too, yeah, the sticker. I wonder if the hyena and the tiger in the background might be the creators of the game or something like that. A photo of our police academy graduation. In the photo, he and I have our arms around each other's shoulders, grinning. He went to the Dragon Capital Police Department. I ended up at the Draconite Research Institute. Wonder how he's doing these days. No closer look. A brief history of the Draconite War. I bought it on a whim, and yet I pick up the heavy book on the nightstand. The bookmark is still stuck on page 3. I didn't even finish the preface. I awkwardly placed the book back where it was. I'll read it eventually. Probably. The bed's a mess. I stare at the crumpled sheets and lopsided pillow. Should I fix it? Sure, last time it was plot important apparently. I grab the blanket to shake it out with a faint clack catches my ear. Huh? My ID card falls from the folds, landing silently on the sheet. It did not land silently, your attention was drawn to it by a sound. Almost forgot this. I picked up the card. The Draconite Research Institute logo glints in the sunlight. Good thing I found it now. If the captain caught me in the institute without an ID, he'd never let me hear the end of it, which apparently is a refrain with you. I slipped the ID into my pocket, feeling a bit more prepared. You're a disaster. I'm playing as a disaster. This is like a Disco Elysium level mess. Closet full of various civilian clothes, but mostly brand new. I haven't worn these in ages. Working at the institute means wearing a uniform. Not much chance for anything else. You guys have a slutty uniform. That's insane. Well, maybe I'll change up my style when I get the chance. What are those suspicious freestanding objects in that glass frame? I open the fridge. Rows of instant meals are lined up neatly inside. Frozen dumplings, microwave bento, canned soup. Living alone, there's no real point in cooking. I close the fridge, my gaze landing on the takeout menu stuck in the corner, stuck to the door. This is convenient enough. He's just like me for real. A failure. Let's go ahead and leave the room. Apparently, I found 2 things by tidying up, so we'll just have to believe in ourselves. After locking the door, I double-checked that I didn't forgotten anything before hurrying down toward the stairs. After greeting my colleagues, I step out of the dormitory. If I dawdle any longer, the captain will definitely call to nag me again. As the gates slid open, the breeze and sunlight weave a landscape of brilliant blue and white before my eyes. With sky blue shimmering on the artificial lake, clouds drift like grazing herds. Chirping birds skim the water, leaving ripples before fade into the skyscrapers along the shore. I take a deep breath. The morning air is always so refreshing. This is the Draconite Technology Park, my home and workplace. Draconite Island. This scenic coastal isle nestles peacefully in the cradle of the Azure Ocean. Through negotiation and the joint efforts of both nations, the world-renowned Draconite Research Institute was established here, marking the beginning of the Draconite era. The Draconite era, a term I knew all too well. We're just dumping exposition rapidly, damn. When I first studied the subject, I didn't feel much. I thought it was just some sort of new energy source. Until I started working here, saw once fictional techs become real, hovering holographic screens, wireless power transmission, and maintenance-free apparatus. Our world really can be this different. 100 years ago, people still used candles and kerosene lamps. Back then, we didn't even know what electricity was, let alone light bulbs. And now, a tiny Draconite power core can keep this entire institute running for decades. Thanks to Draconite, we expanded our understanding of fundamental physics and have gradually realized tech we have today. Draconite is a key for us to touch the deeper secrets of this world. Skyscrapers rose, carving the shape of the Draconite Technology Park. Fueled with lavish vitality, the island keeps delivering once unthinkable techs to the public. Marching along the forest path, I take in the surrounding scenery. The changes in the tech park are truly rapid, always bringing novelty to everyone. Come to think of it, I've been on this island for 2 years now. Time really flies. After graduating from the police academy, I passed the aptitude exams effortlessly, becoming a member of the Draconite Research Institute Joint Security Force. Before moving, I was worried the work might be boring since I'd be stuck on this island, but in hindsight, that was just worrying over nothing. If nothing else, just seeing the innovative tech waiting to be put into practice is enough to get my heart racing. Though if I'm honest about why I chose to work here, it's mostly because I'm very interested in Beast Republic culture. The diverse races, colorful cultures, and all sorts of anecdotes. I've been fascinated by that country since I was a child. As it turns out, my life and work here during this time have indeed satisfied my curiosity about them. And the fluffy beast folk really are quite cute. At that thought, I look down guiltily and glance at the busy colleagues passing by before finally breathing a sigh of relief. Even if it's just a thought, people would probably treat me like a creep if they found out. They're gonna think that you're a pervert if you like furries. During my first few days here, I'd sometimes space out because I was too absorbed in observing the crowds. Fortunately, most people are too busy to notice. Though it's a bit strange, this busy yet stable scene truly makes me feel relaxed and at ease. Different races literally intersect here. There's no disdain or discrimination, only mutual aid and common progress. Weird use of literally. Because I'm trying to interpret what it means to literally intersect, and I'm like, huh? I'm glad I could come to this inclusive island, and I sincerely hope this peace lasts for a long time. War is always so cruel, isn't it? Unfortunately, before I wander further, last night's dream pushes its way back into my mind. That dragon seems to stand before me again, speaking those cryptic words. War. Muttering the ominous word with a frown, I slowed down my pace unconsciously. Just as my brain is about to sink back into somber thoughts, the chime of a text message pulls me back to reality. I hurriedly check the screen. It is a new message from the captain. To make sure nobody messes up when communicating with the guests today, everyone needs to complete a test. If your memory is hazy, use this to brush up. Hurry up. An exam out of nowhere. Curling my lip, I click the... Oh, I accidentally pressed it. Draconite Research General Knowledge Quiz. Question 1. How many years has it been since the arrival of Draconite? Oh, shit. 100 years? That's it. That should be the one. What's the Beast Republic's ambassador's name? Fuck. Julie? Did that name come up? Zeus? I think Julie happened earlier, right? What is the primary application of Draconite? Power supply? Easy points. What is the primary responsibility of Draconite Research Institute? Scientific research? Who is the most handsome person in the Draconite Research Institute? They all say Hongbin. Captain Hongbin, Hongbin the captain, see Hongbin, still Hongbin. Sometimes I really want to roast the captain's sense of humor. I finished the options to submit with ease. Before I could even put my phone back in my pocket, another private message from the captain pop up. Beautifully answered, kid. Keep it up. Did I nail it? I wasn't sure. I wasn't necessarily trying to take in, I wasn't necessarily taking in every bit of information that happened there. I was like, surely it had to be 100 years because 10 doesn't make any sense. Looking at the exuberant praise and emojis following it, I couldn't help but feel a bit smug, wagging my tail as I replied to the captain. You got it, Captain. I put my phone away, the earlier gloom completely sweep away as I hum a tune and speed up a little towards the Institute. My surroundings begin to look familiar. Begin to look familiar? You came from your home. This is the walkie tick, whatever. I could already see the gate of the Draconite Research Institute. No matter how much the rest of the island changes, the Institute remains exactly as it was. It's like an anchor that always gives me the feeling of coming home. How much could it change in 2 years, I wonder? The Draconite Research Institute. This is where I work. No, yeah, I know. White concrete and silver structural frames intersect to form the Institute's indestructible outer walls. The vibe of its clean and simple layout, softened by the greenery around it, feels less cold. That's one of the reasons I like it here. Tech elites and pioneers from both nations gather in this magnificent fortress of science. Together they draw the blueprint for the future, contributing to a better tomorrow, all thanks to the Draconite. At this point, I'm like, we're a half an hour in, and I haven't met a single other character yet. That's rough for an intro. Unless you count the guy that exploded, I guess. Or me, but from the future, from in a dream. Of course, as the only institution on the continent capable of fundamental Draconite research, the place is inevitably coveted by various forces. What I must do is eliminate any possibility of intrusion or leakage, ensuring the security here to provide a safe place where scholars can focus on their research. Even if everything looks calm, I can't afford to be careless, especially with the important Draconite Research Cooperation Summit today. Feeling the serious responsibility on my shoulder, I involuntarily frown. A bioscan laser sweeps over my body as I reach the gate. With the chime of successful authentication, the mechanical door is open. I step into the Institute, noticing a subtle difference. They probably made some adjustments specifically for today's visit. I'm just a little guy. There's another dragon. Are there any non-dragons around? There's a boar. Looks terrifyingly like something from Password. I have one fear. Is that guy the captain? Walking to the front desk, the red-haired black dragon is staring intently at the computer screen, his long hair tied back messily and his beard a bit of a wreck. He's likely prepping for the meeting and hasn't had a moment to groom himself, or maybe it's just intentional. Good morning, Senior Andy. Ande? Ande silently turns his head, gives me a silent nod, then turns back to the screen. I can see the exhaustion and caffeine overload in his eyes. Another all-nighter, most likely. The form I asked you to fill out, did you bring it? Right here. I was just about to give it to you. I pulled the form from my backpack and handed it over while responding. Good thing I checked before leaving this morning. He takes the form, gives a quick look, and tucks it into a drawer. He doesn't say another word. The abrupt silence makes things feel instantly awkward. My mind races as I try to find a topic to break this awkward silence. By the way, Senior, the Beast Republic delegation is visiting our institute today. Even the new ambassador is coming. I know. Probably here to beg for scraps. Understandable, though. Draconite. It's so hard not to say Dragonite constantly because of Pokemon. Draconite production's about to drop after all. His biting remark catches me off guard. I blink, my brow furrowing in confusion. Why would you say that? Aren't the Dragon Imperium and the Beast Republic splitting the Draconite mining equally? Technically, yes, but we hold the mining rights. The Dragon Imperium decides exactly how much gets dug up. But if we mine less, doesn't that mean we get less Draconite too? But the Beast Republic's tech is behind ours. To catch up, they naturally need more Draconite. With just a few words, he makes me realize the complex politics behind Draconite. You haven't considered that before? It's true, even with an equal split, the technologically inferior side can't catch up. Real power has always belonged to the ones controlling the extraction. If the Dragon Imperium intentionally throttles production, the Beast Republic has no real way to respond. Thinking of the dark undercurrents beneath the peaceful facade of this centennial celebration, I lower my tail dejectedly and speak my mind. But I think on such an important day, everyone should just relax and try to get along. Hearing my muttering, Senior Ande looks up at me again. For a second, I think I've said something wrong. But his gaze only holds a touch of acceptance and pity. That's a rather naive wish. There aren't many kids as simple as you left. I suppose it's harmless. He says, his tone softening slightly, perhaps amused by my perspective. Anyway, go find your captain. You've got a busy day ahead. Got it. See you later, Senior. Do-do-do. Guess I don't go that way. Side scroller makes me think I should go side scrolling when I go to destination. Demo restrict. Okay, so you can't go there unless you have the full game. Demo restrict. Those are funny. Go to one story location. Those like neck hoops? Like animal control? Walking to the security room, I noticed the display board, usually covered in sticky notes and memos, has been cleared off. Materials regarding the security department are now neatly arranged. Captain really put in some effort. He probably set this up specifically for today's visit. Thinking this, I curiously start reading the contents of the board, wondering what he could have written. Wait! Why is there a photo of me? That's a cool dog man. Is that the captain? He's not a dragon? Scanning the descriptions of the board, my eyes stop on a painfully familiar photo. Next to it was the label, Security Star of the Year. A mix of embarrassment and pride wells up within me. Thinking back to the captain's encouraging call this morning, my anxiety and tension finally begin to ease. But he actually used the photo from when I first joined. It looks exactly like you right now. What do you mean? The dragon youth in the photo was meticulous and grave, his eyes reflecting a gaze of absolute will and determination. Subconsciously, I scratched my neck as memories of my time at the police academy flicker through my mind. Those grueling days witnessed my growth. Looking back, every ounce of effort I put in was never in vain. Look at that distant me from the past, then it fades to literally me standing directly in front of it. It's the same exact silhouette and overall vibe, a slightly different expression, I guess. I hope the future me can look back and thank this version of myself for everything, as you apparently die to save yourself. Pulling my thoughts back, my gaze continue across the board, finally stop on the photo at the very top. The introduction read, Head of the Joint Security Force. That was our captain, Hong Bin. That's him. In stark contrast to my stern expression, the captain in the photo has a brilliant smile. Just looking at it feels reassuring, like a reliable older brother next door. A reliable older brother next door. Odd specification at that point. And in reality, he is exactly like that. Great at conversation, composed yet flexible, and always optimistic. It seems like nothing could ever stump him. He looked after me a lot when I first started. Come to think of it, Captain used to tease me for looking like the world was ending, and always told me to stop being so stiff and just relax. But I definitely relaxed way too much this morning. I'll probably never hear the end of it from him. I really need to stay more disciplined from now on. I really gotta step it up. Me, security guy of the year. What? I guess that's the attitude that led to him being like that, but damn. At that thought, I took up the photo of my mentor and colleague, my mind beginning to wander again. The captain's smile, it's so infectious. It's the kind of smile that can rally a person's spirits. It's hard to imagine he used to be a soldier on the front lines. After all, anyone who could survive such a brutal environment should be a hardened, fierce character, right? If the captain had been through that, how did he become the way he is now? He's right behind you. He's right behind me, isn't he? Too focused on the board and lost in thought, I failed to notice someone has quietly stepped up behind me. What's wrong? Do I look as that handsome in the photo? If you like looking at it, the real deal's right here for you to look at as much as you want. Horny, 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 horny. Conceal or complain? Huh. Complain? What does conceal mean? Ah! The palm suddenly landing on my shoulder gives me a fright. I turn around in a huff and only see the smiling German Shepherd behind me. It's a German Shepherd. It almost always is, admittedly, especially if they're a soldier or a cop in furry fiction. It's always a German Shepherd. Captain, don't sneak up on people. I protest loudly to hide my embarrassment, though it probably didn't do much good. Seemingly satisfied with my reaction, the captain chuckles and pats my shoulder. Seems you've really grown these past 2 years. At least you are bolder now. Captain, is that supposed to be a compliment? Of course it's a compliment. Being able to retort to my teasing in progress. Not knowing how to respond, I put on an annoyed and frustrated face, while the captain just shake his head with a laugh. Alright, I'll stop messing with you. Ready? It's time to talk business. Seeing the captain drops his smile, I immediately straighten my posture, ready to hear today's mission details. However, the captain turns back to the display board, admiring his masterpiece with a hint of pride. So, my display board turns out pretty well, don't you think? I blinked. This was the business the captain mentioned? It's definitely very detailed. My eyes sweep over the board, eventually lingering on the captain's photo again. Recalling how I was just teased, a thought of getting even surfaces in my mind. But, Captain, in this photo, isn't your smile a bit too... Too what? Too handsome? Too approachable? Too much like a toothpaste commercial? Hey, you brat! That was the punch. The captain feigns anger and gives me a playful punch to the chest, though the corners of his mouth are still twitching upward. That is a carefully selected photo. I spent a whole hour digging through my albums to find it. An hour? Captain, don't tell me you took hundreds of selfies. That's called strict screening. I represent the image of the JSF, so I have to be careful. After a brief silence, the captain cleared his throat, his tone becoming more serious. In all seriousness, though, did it become more serious? I guess more serious than the previous conversation, but not more serious than him actually being serious just now? The people coming today are big shots. Our security department needs to show some results. Results. It's an interesting thing to say about a security department, because if anything, you want nothing to happen. You want no signs that anything happened. And that's the best case scenario for security. He points to the Security Star of the Year column and pats my shoulder. That's why I put you up there. You're the pride of the JSF. And we shouldn't keep that hidden. Though you do look a bit too... stiff. You need a hand with that? Hearing that, my face starts burning again. I awkwardly look away, trying not to stare at that exaggeratedly serious photo of myself. It's not exaggerated, is it? You were genuinely that way. That's because I was so nervous back then. Haha. Well, your expression management is much better now than it was then. At least no one will think we're abusing the rookies anymore. I open my mouth to argue, but I realize I don't really have a leg to stand on, so I just scratch my head in frustration. Captain. Seeing me like this, the captain laughs even harder and reach out to rub my head. Alright, little guy, I'm done teasing you. The captain's smile fades slightly, his eyes lingering on my face for a moment. Looks like you didn't sleep well last night. The pacing is rough so far, man. I instinctively touch my face. It seems the traces of the nightmare are more obvious than I thought. I'm just a big proponent of, like, something desperately needs to happen in the first hour of the story. Like, just some event or occurrence or intrigue has to start. Technically, the dream is like a hint at that, but it's kind of like, that's almost cheating to have like a cold open, like, ooh, a mystery. And then we'd have to, like, you don't have to touch that for hours potentially. But then the actual intro will be people just standing around and saying hi and walking to work and stuff. And you're like, please. You don't need to show every instant of this guy's life. Tell the truth. I did have a bit of a bad dream about the war. The war? Wait, it was you know what the war was? I thought you didn't understand the dream. The captain's expression softens and he reaches out to pat my shoulder. Pressure before the meeting, or? I'm not really sure. Maybe I've just been too tense lately, but I'm much better now. Today's indeed a big day. It's normal to be nervous. Stay sharp during the mission later. If you really can't hold on, swap out for a break. Don't push yourself and let it affect the work. I nod vigorously, the captain's practical concern always making me feel more at ease. Understood, Captain. I'll be careful. Alright, that's enough small talk. After that brief moment of concern, the captain drops his relaxed demeanor, his eyes turning serious. Today will be a severe test of our joint security force. Not only will the newly appointed Beast Republic Ambassador Zhu Li be visiting the Draconite Research Institute, but the Dragon Imperium's foreign minister and the Archbishop will also be present. I know I've said how important this meeting is many times, but I'll say it again. We must stay 100% today. We cannot slip up anywhere. Roger, Captain. Roughly what time will the guests arrive? Do we need to go greet them? Right now. They should be arriving at the gate soon. The captain glanced at his watch. He pulls out his phone to alert the security team to gather at the Institute's entrance, then slings an arm around my shoulder. Success is the only option. Understood, I won't let you down. That's the spirit? The previously peaceful atmosphere has vanished. By the time the captain leads us to the Institute's main gate, the sounds of intense, noisy discussion has already leaked through the cracks. Ooh. News reporters here to interview. It's a decent aesthetic for like the minimal art. Fully armed reporters have crowded and blocked the entrance. Few colleagues for crowd control are nearby, are nearly hoarse from shouting, looking visibly relieved at the sight of our arrive. Did I click out the window? Whoops. Please maintain order. The Institute is not yet open to the public. Everyone, form up and maintain order. The guests have arrived. Facing the aggressive media, the captain calmly issues commands. The JSF moves quickly under his direction, standing side by side to form two walls, carving a path through the crowd. Try to maintain a serious expression, ignoring the questions from the reporter blocked in front of me, preparing my tale for anyone to slip through the gaps. They're here! They've arrived! As someone shouts, the surging crowd freeze for a second before turning in unison towards two cars that are slowly coming to a stop. The car doors open. Before I can even get a close look at the three VIPs, the pressure from the reporters surges again, forcing me to refocus on maintaining the line. Seeing they couldn't break through the JSF wall, the media hold up their microphones, thrusting them through any gap they could while shouting their questions. The bodyguards have to form a circle to protect the VIPs, moving as quickly as possible through the barrage of questions. This is insane. I try to maintain my best to maintain the order, marveling inwardly at the scene before my eyes that I've only seen on TV. I'm almost swept away by the frantic atmosphere. You've only seen a crowd like this on TV? Like, aren't you 2 years deep into this job? The group of escorts hurriedly walk by me with the VIPs. I only managed to catch a glimpse of white horns and a long tail through the gaps in the crowd. After an open and close, the VIPs disappear behind the door. Only then, you don't have to explain how doors work to me. Only then do the reporters slowly disperse, excitedly discussing the photos they just managed to snap. Everyone, it is now time for identity verification. Only those with pre-approved summit passes may enter the Institute. Please follow the staff's instructions. Other guests may wait in the lounge outside the Institute. The JSF will strictly verify everyone's identity information. Following the captain's orders, I head to the security room and take my post, beginning to process the process of checking the credentials of those entering the Institute one by one. The Beast Republic Ambassador, the Dragon Imperium's foreign minister, and the Draconite Ecclesia Archbishop have already entered, but there are still many attendees need to be registered. I straighten my uniform and throw myself into the intense, orderly security work. On an important occasion like today, there's absolutely no room for error. Autosave. Welcome to the security check minigame. As a security officer, you'll manage the security process. Now click the button to call the next guy. Is there a papers, please minigame in here? What? That's wild. I was about to wrap it up and be like, well, I guess that's how far we made it in the story, but I gotta look at the papers, please game. Giant bull man. Sorry, I'm in a bit of a rush. I gotta stop doing gravelly voices. Those are so bad for me. Sorry, I'm in a bit of a rush. Could you please process this quickly? I look up to see an ox beastia in a formal suit. A pipe clenched between his teeth, already saying before me. His tone sounds polite, but I feel no warmth from him, only an invisible sense of pressure. Please place your... Showing my ID, right? Here. Holding his pipe in one hand, the ox casually flicks his ID into the scanner with the other. The smoke drifting from the pipe has a certain fragrance, but for a non-smoker like me, it's just one thing. Choking. Technically, smoking is prohibited in the Institute, but this guy looks like trouble. You're at your security. What do you mean he looks like trouble? It's your job. What the fuck? Understood. Please stand before the scanner next. We need to perform a security check. He might seem intimidating, but I'll just follow the standard procedure. So card scanner, drag ID here. This is the guest entry pass. Drag it to the card scanner on the left. Okay. Then click on it to view it. Let's see. Beast Republic. 100 something. I can't read this card because it's in Chinese, so it's not very helpful actually. They didn't translate the visual. Oh, there we go. So it's really not helpful to look at it directly then. Age 40, bovine, Beast Republic, merchant. Affiliation, the Yunhui Trading Co. Contact number. Purpose, seek Draconite project collaboration. I assume that's not written on the card, but it's like, I guess if it's temporary card. Otherwise it's like scanner information, I guess. Issued by the Ministry of Civil Affairs. This is the guest IDs, info and digital file. Check if they match. You can click items to inquire. You might find something. Interesting. It is papers, please. What? I did not expect that. That came as a surprise. Okay. Try clicking items on the character. Clicking valid items triggers inquiry dialogue. Watch out for prohibitive items carried. This is the character's patience. Each interaction consumes it. When patience runs out, the guest will no longer cooperate. So it's like turn-based papers, please, instead of real-time, probably. This button to activate the scanner, searching for hidden items under the clothing. Let's do that first. Activate the scanner. The screen reveals the firm, powerful silhouette of an ox beneath his clothes. Oh. I get it. So in Papers, Please, this was dystopian and horrifically invasive, but in gay furry land, it's a chance to look at naked men. Of course. Having done this many times, a visitor of this build still makes me raise an eyebrow. What, is something wrong? Nothing. Please stretch out your limbs for the scan. Hearing this, Lu Yunhui readily stretches out. Come to think of it, the scanner is very detailed. But work is work. I'll just follow procedure. And we're gonna go straight here. Yep. Hello. He's got a lighter on his fundoshi. His bulging fundoshi. You are not immune to propaganda. Giant man. So he's just naked otherwise. He's just a huge, huge man. But yeah, that's light. That lighter. Ah! God, that was loud. Or jarring at least. What's that item on your waist? A lighter, just a little trinket I carry around. He naturally unclips an exquisite metal lighter from his waist and toys with it in his hand. How do you naturally unclip a lighter that's attached to your fundoshi, that's under your robe, that's under your pants? That's layers deep. It's something of a craft piece. I use it for my pipe. My apologies, but lighters are also classified as contraband. We'll need to hold on to it temporarily. Oh, not even a lighter. Your security is quite thorough. He places the lighter on the table and taps the surface twice. Fine, if those are the rules, I'll cooperate. Searching the characters unlocked a list for confiscation. Based on dialogues, check the items that should be confiscated. Okay, so apparently lighters should be confiscated. I guess I just have to learn the full list as I go or something. So he's down to 4 pips. I thought the heart was going to drain vertically, but instead the dots seem to be disappearing, basically. Sorry, I'm just enjoying naked man. Sorry. So, what? No, I'm not distracted. I've confiscated that. ID number? DTCS0005BN4G. That matches. Issue at Beast Republic. Nationality Beast Republic. Those technically say different things. Not different Beast Republic. They both say Beast Republic, but they both technically imply different things. So I don't know if I'm even supposed to compare those. Applying date. I don't know what day it is right now, so I can't really paper please that very clearly. Issued by the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Should I be concerned that that's different from his affiliation? I don't know. Yes, Yunhui Trading Company. Surely you've heard of it. Yunhui Trading, a well-known company in the Beast Republic. Their public business is legitimate, but internal data suggests their shadow operations are quite complex. I feel like they could have raced here way faster, in part because you could get so much more done. Like, you can get so much exposition done in the Papers, Please gameplay that you wouldn't need to spend so much time elsewhere, really. Turn off the scanner? Oh, it's still on. Turn back off. There we go. And his necklace? This? Just an ordinary necklace. Nothing special about it except the price tag. I don't mind if you want to take a closer look. Inspection complete. No abnormalities found. What is it? Lunhu, smoking is prohibited inside the Institute. After I speak, he simply holds the pipe in his hand, making no move to extinguish it. Oh? Then why don't you tell me where the smoking room is? Apologies, but the entire Institute is a non-smoking zone, so there are no indoor smoking areas. If you really need one, the smoking room is about 100 meters outside. Huh! Don't bother. Lu Yunhui raises a hand to silence me. He takes a long drag, slowly exhales a thick cloud of smoke, and finally, seemingly with reluctance, extinguishes the gilded pipe and sets it on the table. He sets it down? I didn't even say to do that. I guess I'm gonna take the pipe, is what the suggestion was. I have no reason to confiscate the necklace right now. He has horns. Okay. Age 40. Contact number, I guess. Seek Draconite project collaboration. Mr. Liu, I also need to confirm your purpose for attending. Haha, isn't it clear on the ID? For a merchant, what else could the goal be? Lu Yunhui laughs as he speaks. Didn't he laugh in the dialogue? I think I know that already. I'd like a more detailed explanation. Fine. As an arms dealer, as you can tell with these pair of guns, I'm here seeking partners and material suppliers. You mean? But according to the Draconite Demilitarization Treaty, Draconite is strictly forbidden. Stop. I'm tired of hearing about those technicalities. I'm mostly here because this is where the big players gather. Besides, aren't these questions a bit outside your jurisdiction, little officer? Found a discrepancy through dialogue. You can now use a valid reason to deny entry. How? There's a lot of patience. Shit, how do I play again? Guide. Call the next guest. How do I confirm or deny? Decide whether to approve entry. There is no absolute right answer. If you grant entry, ensure all contraband is checked for confiscation. If you deny entry, you must find a valid reason through dialogue. Okay. So I think I do the call next guest button. Denied. Sorry, sir. For certain reasons, you cannot enter at this time. What? What's the reason? Don't think you can brush me off with some nonsense. Risk and purpose of visit? My apologies, Mr. Liu. Since Draconite is strictly prohibited for weapon use, given the Institute's stance and relevant policies, we cannot process your visit at this time. What? Just because of that? I never said I was here to cut an arms deal. I just wanted to see the direction of technical development. You explicitly mentioned being an arms dealer and looking for partners. This enters sensitive territory. Huh. Sensitive? Kid, you don't have any idea how many people... Do you have any idea how many people out there are doing research on this? I'm just looking for a legitimate channel. Mr. Liu, the Draconite Demilitarization Treaty is a top-level arms control treaty signed by both nations and the international community. Any contact involving potential militarization is strictly prohibited. This isn't my personal decision, it's a fundamental principle regarding world peace. Liu Yunhui's expression turned serious. He stares at you for a few seconds before sighing. Fine. You're more of a rule follower than I thought. Security? Since it's an issue of that magnitude, I won't give a lowly security officer like you a hard time. But remember, kid, some deals are going to be made eventually. It's just a matter of when. With that, Liu Yunhui turns and leaves. I wonder how much variability there is in like the outcomes and the story and whatnot. It felt like such a linear VN thing until like there was like a couple things that I could forget on my way in. And now I'm doing Papers, Please, which is a surprise. Dragon Man! That looks like somebody's persona. You will understand. Tonight you'll be reborn. Even if I'm in rags, I'll still wait for you. Pardon me, sir. This isn't Research Institute. Please keep quiet. Wait, are you Mr. Castro? I looked toward the entrance and realized the person singing is the famous Dragon Imperium rock musician, Castro the Black Dragon. Though I'm not much of a music fan, with Castro's social media presence, even I know to recognize such a huge celebrity. Yes, that's me. Castro smiles and leans in to bow. Today he's traded his avant-garde stage look for a simple black patent leather jacket. And even without the sequins and silver chains, the four pails. Why am I saying every incorrect syllable? Probably because I hit the word sequins or sequins again, and I never remember how it's pronounced because those don't actually come in my life ever. And I'm always like, God damn it, what is it? The 4 pairs of teal horns and gold piercings still radiate his uninhibited rock star style. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. Shakespeare said that. Cool. Huh? I scratch my head, try to recall the rest of the poem, but my meager literary knowledge has long since vanished. Just a joke. No offense intended. He seems to notice my embarrassment and moves the topic along with a chuckle. I didn't expect a star like you to attend this conference. What kind of charm does this meeting have to attract so many people who seem completely unrelated to the scientific world? Haha, I don't think I'll be holding a concert here today. Haha, a fair point. I offer a polite smile. Even if he's a celebrity, I can't skip the mandatory procedures. Please present your ID, Mr. Castro. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Age 36. Race Draconis. Dragon Imperium, musician, blazing entertainment. He's here to seek inspiration. Issued by the Foreign Affairs Administration. Yes. DTCS 000-4DI1A. I think I can't click on anything. Oh, I can. Shit. I'm sorry I didn't memorize that specifically. I thought it was just an irrelevant ID code. I didn't mean to click on it. Shit. I specifically thought I remembered you can't click on them. I just wasted that time. Whoops. Oh, the profile picture can also not match. He doesn't have any piercings in the picture, and he does now in his horn. So I guess they're new? Or what if those piercings are like sneaky. They're up to something. Is this that device they say can see through things? Don't worry, the person who invited me warned me beforehand. I don't mind. Castro speaks while generously spreading his arms for the inspection. Thank you for your understanding. I'll make this quick. Boop, 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 boop. He's got, what does it say? Bad Dragon? He's wearing a Bad Dragon jockstrap, although that's backwards because they didn't flip the text for when the sprite flips, which is weird because like the default direction that he faces is to the right for at least these scenes. Like you can assume that it always goes this. What's the K? He's got like a fucking, what's going on there? Also, I can see through all of their clothes, but not their underwear somehow. That might be Chinese restrictions on nudity. Okay, so his horn spikes don't disappear. Let's see. Okay, what's that? Ah! I don't like that sound. What's that in your pocket? Oh, it's in his pocket. That makes more sense. I was like, does he have a pick piercing? Like, what is that? Ah, you really can see it. This is my favorite guitar pick. I'm a rock musician after all. This is the tool of my trade. I'd feel lost without it. So I take it with me everywhere so it's easy to lose. Castro pulls the pick from his pocket to show me. Looks like a normal plastic pick covered in fine scratches with a prominent C logo. It's even got my signature. If someone found it, they could probably sell it for a good price. And you better keep it safe. I wouldn't want to see a colleague suddenly strike it rich. Seemingly amused by my dry joke, Castro chuckles and puts the pick back in his pocket. I click on the horns? Is that a standard accessory for rock singers? Standard accessory for rock singers? What kind of sentence is that? Haha, that's just a stereotype. But yes, I am wearing it. But these accessories do help show off one's personality, don't they? However, I'm sorry, Mr. Castro, sharp metal objects are technically not allowed. Oh, right. I'm so used to wearing these things all over that I forgot. Can't have any sharp metal objects. Sharp horns, on the other hand. I'll take it off in a moment. It's quite easy to remove. Thank you for your understanding, Mr. Castro. I'll keep it safe for you. The metal studs. Don't need the pick. Let's see. Occupation musician, here to seek inspiration. I guess I can ask about that. For your purpose of visit, you wrote looking for inspiration? I didn't just write that randomly. I truly hope to find creative inspiration here. Draconite. It's arguably the most mysterious thing in the world right now. I've always wanted to understand it deeply. The irregular yet beautiful appearance, the surging energy within, the still unexplained origins. For an artist, it's like an undiscovered treasure. I see. The artist's perspective is truly fascinating. I guess I'm not cut out to be a star. Why? What? Don't be so hard on yourself, man. I have to see if you can ask about the jockstrap or not. Through the scanner, I see Castro's wearing light gray cotton thongs. Thongs, plural? Huh. Surprisingly practical. He looks like a classic rock star, yet he isn't wearing leather underneath. Is that to be expected of rock stars? They wear leather under their pants? Kind of think of it, am I the first person to see a superstar's underwear? Ahem. Even for me, being stared at there is a bit uncomfortable. Sorry, I didn't mean to. It's fine, you can't exactly hide contraband there, so don't worry. Yeah, you can. What do you mean? Tons of people hide contraband in their underwear. It's like step one. Should I be thinking about confiscating this thingy? Your brooch looks very unique. Exquisite, isn't it? It's actually made of plastic. Castro removes the brooch. Even with a close look, it's hard to tell if it's just plastic. Oh yeah, it has to be just plastic because I can see through it. Well, no, I don't know how this works. The 3D scanner went through his clothes, but did not go through it, and it also goes through this badge, which is plastic, but it didn't go through the guitar pick, which is also plastic, even though it looks metal. This was the first gift I received after my debut, handmade by a fan. The materials are common, but the effort they put in makes it look like real crystal. I think the reason I do music is for this kind of love and recognition from fans. Warmth flickers in Castro's eyes. It's clear the brooch means a lot to him. I didn't know you had such a story behind it. Yes, so I treasure it and wear it for every occasion. I see. Don't worry, it's not a prohibited item. You may wear it inside. Thank you. He puts the brooch back on, carefully adjusting the angle. It reflects a brilliant luster before my eyes. Neat. And now he's not going to be cooperative anymore, I guess, is what this means. So you can keep the metal studs. So it's a bit like, it's like Papers, Please gameplay, but the limitation is more like the energy system we dealt with in No, I'm Not a Human, which I did play if you haven't seen it yet. Played both those games actually on the channel. But a somewhat more forgiving budget, although I think just activating the scanner at all might cause it to... Sorry, I just caught up with the fact that his scanner turned... not a scanner. His brooch is silver now. It was blue a minute ago, wasn't it? What's up with that? Can I click on it again? Or is he just gonna be annoyed? Sorry, I might have to ask you to hurry a bit. I know security is important, but could you please speed it up? I can't delay this any longer. Classic. Famously, you can just get annoyed at the security and then they have to let you through. That's how it totally works in real life. Identity verified and prohibited items cleared. I hope the conference goes well and you find the inspiration you're looking for. I appreciate the kind words, Mr. Security Officer. Castro nods with a smile, adjusts his clothes, and heads towards the venue. His steps are graceful, fitting the Institute's atmosphere surprisingly well. Bye. We're pretty over time at this point, so I think we're done. But let's see what the next guy looks like. Hello, big red man at a low angle. Immediate pit meta. Is this the thumbnail? Is this the thumbnail? Of course it's the thumbnail. Of course it is. How could I not? It's such bait. All right, well, this has been Draconite. You can check out the full game. I should actually double check real quick. This is just a demo. Yeah, the game. No, its release date is February 10th. I'm on the wrong page, that's why. No, the demo came out on February 20th. Yeah, it's still coming out at some point this year. So the game is not yet out. So we'll see about that at some point. But for now, you can check out the demo, and you can probably play the other 6 people, or the other 4 people that come in here, and maybe get some sort of conclusion to the demo and some sort of opening arc. But that's going to be it for now, everybody. Thanks for watching like always, and I'll see you next time.